Gentlemen, all rise for the RankKing's court.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome again to the greatest spectacle that grants your social screens at exactly 6:30 p.m. on a Tuesday. I am the Rank King Asamorid, and this is the Rank King's Court. You might notice we were off last week. A much-needed reprieve, as we all had our little things to do. In fact, Greg and I ended up at the same concert. Did not see that coming.
No, did not.
I didn't. You're welcome.
Yeah, I didn't know you actually left your little area of the state at all. So that was a nice surprise, actually.
Got to see some Magnolia Park and Census Fail. That was dope. And
Don't leave Can't Swim out of this. Can't Swim was good too. Just saying.
That's okay.
Were they good? Do you like them?
I don't know. I couldn't stay afloat. I can't swim. You guys suck. And Votash as well had to do big boy things and had to work, so it was unfortunate. But we decided last week roll with the punches and cancel the show for that week. So now we are back with this week, as I said, with Noble Knight Greg and Oracle Vo, and I think for the first time in a long time, technically back-to-back shows, we have a guest. So please welcome for tonight's episode a good friend of mine, McKenna.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me. This has been a long time, aka 6-month dream of mine to be on this show.
We're happy to make your dreams come true.
I was gonna say, I really hope you need more dreams then, if that's the case. But okay.
Yeah. A minor dream. Let's rank it low dream.
You guys
I like
it. It was on the slab for Courage to Carry the Dog. It would disappear. This is like one of those moments. Like this is one of her dreams is coming true. It's disappearing from the slab. There you go. Listen. I just watched the Courage and Scooby-Doo crossover. Like, did not number one.
Wow, I forgot about that one.
Dope. I was very happy until I found out. I don't know if the guy that played Eustace died or not, but he was not the voice of Eustace. You could tell that someone was trying to be, but the same person was the same person for Muriel. It was really happy. Warmed my heart inside. Just like this show, we have a lot of great memories on the show, including last week. I know that Vo doesn't have it up, but it's totally okay. We have our shit. You do?
I do.
Last week we talked about all different sandwiches, all kinds of different sandwiches, and we had Chip as a guest, which now that I'm thinking about it, probably would have been funnier if we had him as a guest on the Chip episode. Yeah. We had him on for the week after for the sandwich episode. But as I always say, a good sandwich needs a whole lot of chip, and that's what we got. So, but Ken, I want you to take a look at this list. I don't know if you can see it or not. If not, I can read off some of them for you. Some people have a hard time believing that my sandwich list is not better than Chip's, and I know for 100% it is better than Chip's. So, first of all, at number 2, he has the hot sausage.
What's wrong with hot sausage?
Not entirely sure. It seems more like a hot dog base, which we did talk about that a hot dog was a sandwich.
You can't go against your word.
To have hot sausage at 2 is a big move. He also had the I don't know why he has that at 11. What?
He
He
was
has
making a
hamburger.
joke at your number 1.
I saw that. He has hamburger at 9. I'm not sure. I mean, in my mind, a sandwich is a sandwich, but a hamburger is a type of sandwich, but hamburgers belong in their own category. Like hamburgers, cheeseburgers. I think they all belong in their own specific category.
You're really trying to push this, man.
Nope, Greg. No.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that I will give him credit for putting on his list was a fish sandwich. Not a lot of people do it. A lot of people are scared of a fish sandwich. I, for one, give me that what do you call it? A fish fillet.
Fish
And
fillet.
McDonald's every time. I'll get myself sick.
No, man, you go during Lent, you go to like a bingo hall or a church that's doing a fish fry,
Yeah.
and then you get like the big
Fish
ass
fry Fridays.
big ass fish sandwiches for like, and then all the sides and fixings for like $9 or something like that. Oh, you eat like a king on some of that stuff.
I can't say I ever. I don't know if I ever. I know that we had
You never had a
plate
fish fry sandwich?
that had. Oh, I swear to God, Vogue, you interrupt me while I'm talking.
Austin, you are not a
what we're here
yinzer.
for.
You are not a yinzer if you haven't had a fish fry fish sandwich. Come on.
We had a fish sandwich that was voted the best fish sandwich in the state at a restaurant, and it was dope. We used to go there all the time for them, but I just haven't done it recently. But
Wait,
I'm going to list.
I'm going to interrupt you again. I heard a rumor that you wanted to take last week off because Chip beat you so bad in the top 10
That's not what
challenge.
happened.
That's what I heard.
I mean, I was gonna go to the concert. Like,
Nah, that's.
I was
no.
gonna say, like, I'm pretty sure you told me that you got the concert tickets on a spur of the moment type thing.
it was a spur of the moment type thing. When Vo texted me, he's like, "Hey, do you want these tickets?" All right, I'm glad we had that conversation.
I did text you that
So-
because I heard you were crying all week because Chip beat you. Anyways, we have a.
All right. So
new
anyway,
topic tonight, right?
we have a wonderful show for you all tonight. I'm gonna be honest, a topic that I thought I would never ever get into. It's not because I'm not a big proportion of that said topic. I've just never once thought of these as, I know people associate these as these movies. I always steered clear away from them. I don't know why, but I decided for this kind of get into them and we get it. Because tonight we're talking all about rom-coms, romantic comedies. Anybody that knows me knows I'm on the thriller horror side, like my brother. So rom-coms are kind of a whole terrifying thing themselves to me, because I'm dipping my toe in uncharted waters.
It's terrifying
McKenna,
for
what
you.
makes them... I would say so, Greg. All these happy endings, bullshit. They don't happen. We like to think that they happen.
Boy, you just are
Lord
a
only knows.
pessimistic little man, aren't you?
I am as pessimistic as they come, Greg. You're right.
Mm.
McKenna, what makes rom-coms so great? Like, why do you enjoy them so much?
It's a good question. Okay, so I'll tell you the backstory of this recommendation for a topic was I was making a top movie list. Ian wanted us to make movie lists, and I said, I don't think I can even name 50 movies. Like, that's how not into movies I am. And then I actually ended up making a top 60, and I'd say 25 of 60 are rom-coms, because that's just what I watch. Because while I enjoy a horror movie or a thriller, like, I'm not going to be up. I don't want to be up at night thinking about that kind of stuff. And that's what it does to me.
It all happens to the best of us. Listen, I just watched a trailer today that probably will make me squirm for like 10 minutes when I go to bed, and I'll be the end of it. And I'll immensely talk about it tomorrow. That's just, I'm so used to it. I'm not used to, however, is to people falling in love and being happy, which is terrible when you really think about it.
Put it like
So,
that.
Boy, yeah, I really hope that your girlfriend didn't just overhear this. Just saying.
well, we're happy. I'm not used to other people doing it, is what I just said.
Okay.
I'm used to other people doing it, but not myself. So we're on the opposite ends.
We are on the opposite breads of the sandwich, so to speak. So I'm excited to get into this. This is going to be an interesting show for a lot of us, I believe. So why don't we start off and head to our radical ranking number 1. Yeah, there's music playing. We don't hear it. I love to imagine it every time. And welcome back for the rom-coms. I am interested because there are so many decent characters. So for this, I wanted to be like, let's go and do the best rom-com sidekicks. I think that it's appropriate because they make the story almost about them without being in a conceited way. I really appreciate,
Well, I
or
mean,
they do it.
Well, let's call it what it is, man. Like, the sidekicks are basically there for comedic purposes. Most of the time.
They're the funny part of the rom-com.
Us too.
They're the rom, or they're the
Please.
com.
We're the sidekicks.
Yeah,
We make the people laugh.
that's true. We do.
Also makes them mad.
Yeah, that's true. We had the levity.
You see what I deal with every week? This is they are a lovely bunch. Make me drink. That's all I can say. But McKenna, I just want you to comment on these as I go along, see what you feel.
Okay.
Let's start off at number 5. A movie that I think a lot of people don't believe is technically a romantic comedy or a rom-com, but I wanna bring it here. I wanna pitch it to the table and say that Wallace from Scott Pilgrim is a sidekick for a rom-com movie.
I am so happy you have Scott Pilgrim as a rom-com. So happy.
Is it not? I mean, it has all the ingredients,
by-
all the purposes
Wow.
of a romantic
Yeah,
comedy.
what do you consider a romantic comedy? Just so we know.
I would. Do you want to take that, McKenna, since you're the expert?
Sure. I mean, I guess it's a pretty wide spectrum, isn't it? Like, it has to have some element of romance and has to have some funny bits. I guess Scott Pilgrim would be a rom-com. It's definitely more in the com category.
Yes, but
There
the
is-
basis
there
of it
is
is
a
a
big-
romance. So yeah, by
Right.
default, it kind of does count
Right.
as a rom-com. Yeah.
And there like has to be some semblance of a happy ending, which there is.
Well, I mean, it doesn't always have to. I mean, I'm thinking of a movie I'm thinking of a movie in particular that I know my brother would never, ever see. I don't know if you know it, but we'll talk about it at the end. Stick around for that, ladies and gentlemen. I think that might be an interesting one. Yeah, I love Wallace. I love the ability that he is the gay best friend that steals every single male friend, like date or whatever that
Oh, it's
has.
incredible. It's
Um,
incredible.
Absolute favorite scene of this entire movie is where Knives comes over and she's like, "Oh, is Scott over?" And he goes, he just left." It's absolute. I remember when I was younger, I thought that the trailer for that was stupid and I wasn't gonna see it.
Oh, you're
and-
crazy. No, when
Well,
I saw
listen,
that
I-
trailer, it looked amazing. Amazing.
I don't know. I don't know why I thought about that. But when we watched it for thoughts from the movies, there's a time warp. Go check out all our stuff on there if it's even there still.
Oh, it's
But
there.
when we did thoughts from the movies, we watched this one and I loved it. I thought it was amazing. I thought the chemistry between every single actor and actress was incredible. I love the plot. I love that the video game references were cute, delightful. Everything was right down where it needed to be. And Michael Cera, I don't know if he has a job anymore because he kind of fizzled out of the 2000s, like awkward stages of life. But get that man something. Give him like a Brendan Fraser move. Like get him back to work, please.
I love this movie. I saw it in theaters when it came out, and it was incredible. But the fact that it's like, because you don't think of it as a rom-com from the start, but the more you kind of like think about it, I mean, the basis of it is literally Scott trying to go after this mysterious girl, Ramona Flowers, and has to deal with the League of Evil Exes to get to her and stuff. I mean, there's the action part, then there's the knives part, and then there's all this other side stuff. But it's like, yeah, when it comes down to it, it's literally guy meets girl, guy tries to get girl, which is literally the basis of a rom-com to a degree.
He just has to fight off how many 7 evil exes. So
It's a different way to get there, but yeah, it counts. It definitely counts.
Yeah, it definitely counts. It didn't make any of my list, but it definitely counts.
that's how you.
Number
That's how
11.
people. Shut up.
Might need to rethink it now after that. Just saying.
And I'm pointing it out. Just then. All right. Let's do number 4. I watched this movie once, and I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was very well done. I haven't watched it since, so I might need a little bit of a re-up on it. But it was an incredible book, from what I was told. I can't read. I don't know how I've survived.
Pictures.
But it was an even better
Especially
movie,
as educated
and
as you,
that.
too. Oof.
I'm sorry, am I interrupting y'all's conversation? Are you good?
No,
like,
no.
No, we're
this
just
is the
having
moment
we're just
where
having a
the-
show.
the-
We're
the-
just
Go
talking.
having a show
ahead.
here.
Go ahead.
Number 4 is Piek Lingo from Crazy Rich Asians.
This is a fun movie. This is a
It
really fun
was
movie.
played by amazing performance by Aquafina. I love every part of her character in this movie. McKenna, is this a good choice? Yes or no?
Yes. I'll
Yes.
say I did a lot of research when I had my own like personal top 10 list, but like looking into other rom-coms, this is on everyone's list. So, it's a good choice. And this was a hilarious movie. More so than the book. The book was great, but the movie's not better, but good.
It's funnier, so to speak.
It's definitely funnier.
I mean,
and I laugh more at movies than books because I'm working too hard to read the book.
right. You imagine this sitting there reading a book and go.
Yeah, I can't imagine it, but less often than in a movie.
Very true. Do you think it's because that it's a newer film that it's making a lot of people's lists? Because a lot of the time, when you're looking at people making lists like this, they're always borrowing stuff from the past. But since Crazy Rich Asians, it's only like 4 years old, right? Is it 2018, 2019?
Yeah, but in fairness, when it came out though, like it was like a lot of people loved it from the beginning. Like it
That's
got
what
like,
I'm saying,
so much
so-
like love, and like people like immediately put it in their top consideration for that though.
Very true.
Yeah, or there's like it's like has a recency bias, but also it's impressive because a lot of these movies I feel like have such nostalgic value to people that's why they make lists, myself included, where this one it doesn't have enough time to have nostalgia.
Gotcha. Chip with a comment, welcoming to the chat, Chip, along with Deep. The calm is disrupting the ROM. Well, the chip sometimes disrupts the sandwich, Chip. That's all I'm saying.
That didn't go well. No,
No, he's
not
salty,
good.
though.
Not good. No.
Let's do number 3. One that I have not seen in a very, very long time. This is Sandy Lyle from Along Came Polly.
I completely forgot about Along Came Polly.
Forgot about Philip Seymour Hoffman?
I didn't. I just like. I just remember this came out in like 03, 04 maybe.
Let's see.
2004. You're right on the money.
Yeah, and I'm like, geez, like I thought it was okay, but like I hadn't seen this in forever.
It's weird because a lot of the romantic comedies or the rom-coms, so to speak, that I remember, a lot of them came out in like the mid 2000s, and you either fell in love with them or you never hear from them again. So McKenna, is Sandy Lyle well placed on this list at number 3?
Well placed. I think well placed. 3 is a good spot. Along Came Polly is a classic, and yeah, that's the sweet spot for rom-coms is like 2000 to 2009. And I think it's like it's Jennifer Aniston, Ben Stiller.
Yeah.
Like Jennifer Aniston is the face of rom-coms along with a few other actresses. So classic. But Sandy it's hilarious. Yeah. He's hilarious.
Again, we say a lot of comedy in this, Chip. This is primarily the side characters, which
who are the calm.
Who always are the calm, yes.
Deep said this could be higher, but he's also blanking right now.
Well, tell him to stop blanking.
It's hard when there's only 5 spots. Could be higher, but could be lower.
There's a lot Could
There's a lot
be.
of movies.
There are. And we'll keep it rolling with this next one. One of the most famous rom-coms of all time, I would argue, calls for a well-deserved sidekick at the number 2 spot. Some would say this is number 1. We'll see where it lies. But this is Casey from 27 Dresses.
Oh yeah, she's number 1 on my list. So she's the best.
I'm trying to remember. Who's the name of the actress? Is it like Pam Grier or Judy Greer?
Judy Greer.
Judy Greer.
She's the sidekick.
Oh yeah, but I love her voice because she's in Archer as oh Jesus, I can't remember the girl's as Cheryl, and she's amazing in it. But the way that like she uses her voice to like it just like the way it like kind of comes out and stuff is so freaking funny in like the right character and stuff. It's so good.
And she's always that like kind of devil and angel on the main character's shoulders. Like she's encouraging those bad decisions, but also like, whoa.
Yeah.
If I think it's crazy sort of thing.
Pump the brakes, but I want to try this later.
Yeah.
Before we hit number 1, I'm going to list some honorable mentions. I rarely do this,
before you do that, we have a couple comments. Deke said, "I've only seen the sequel 28 days later," and he said, "This show's a rom-com with Vo and Greg, and Austin is the sidekick."
Ha!
Ouch. I'm gonna put that. Ouch. That hurt. Which, yeah, okay. So cool. I still have the train. I still have the train. Look at that. Choo-choo. That's cool. So I'm gonna list some honorable mentions here real quick. Again, these would not probably be in my top, but I think they're still hilarious. The no longer fat Amy from Pitch Perfect. Again, more or less the comedy side than romantic side, but you could argue there's a little tiny bit of the Pitch Perfect that's like it's a rom-com. There's a little tiny bit. I can imagine just if it had more romance, what it would be.
Did you see they're making another one with
No way.
not Pitch Perfect, but what's his name? Adam from Workaholics in the movie.
Oh, it's the spin-off. Yeah, it's
Bumper.
Bumper goes to
Berlin or something. That's hilarious. Why can't he just be Workaholics for the rest of his life?
Right.
It's fine. No, Austin, I mean they're in love. So Derek is saying that you and Greg are in love.
Thin line between love and hate.
Yeah, but-
so
Yeah, love-hate
I don't know if
relationship.
I don't know if that's the type of love. Anyway, it's fine. So let's say that one. And wow, I'm blanking on her name, but she's from Bridesmaids. The one.
Oh, Kristen Wiig?
No.
Maya Rudolph?
No.
Let's
Close.
see.
Melissa McCarthy.
Yes, thank you. I'm
Oh
terrible.
yeah.
That whole movie's funny.
Yes, the whole movie's funny.
That's like
think-
comedy though. That's
That's
almost
more
straight.
comedy.
Yeah, I wouldn't even call her a sidekick in that movie. She's
I was
kind of like
doing
her
my
own
research,
character.
and it said that Bridesmaids has the opportunity to be a romantic comedy. So I think it said if it has the potential.
It has
Oh,
a love story.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Like Kristen Wiig's character is technically like is kind of meeting her, perfect guy throughout the movie, I guess. So yeah, I guess it could count.
I did also call my girlfriend Maya Rudolph because she had that little bit of like black in her teeth the one time. And I was like, "You look like a chick from Bridesmaids."
Dude, wow, so rude.
Oh, by the way, we have a Summer Hazy Love finishing up the summer collection today. So
And
some
love is
some
in the air.
summer love.
Yeah, look at that. It's perfect.
And at my number 1, this might be a interesting pick, but I love this pick. And that's George from My Best Friend's Wedding. I love this pick. I love him. I love that he is the quote unquote, like, I don't even know how to say this right. The token gay of romantic comedies. Like it's everything that's around his aura is what I love in a rom-com, and I couldn't bear to not put him at number one. I mean, McKenna, do you think that he deserves the top spot over some of our other people? Or did I make a mistake and you're going to point it out like these two idiots in the booth?
Oh, I got a big one that you completely missed on, so.
Well, Casey's my number one.
Okay.
She's my number one, so already a mistake there, but glad she was included. My Best Friend's Wedding is one of my favorite movies of all time, and I do love George, but he does piss me off. So, he would make like a top 10 list for me, but not top 5. I think a big miss on this list is the girl from How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. I can't remember the actress's name, but she plays Michelle, and she's like the one that pretends to be the therapist.
Catherine Hahn.
Catherine Hahn, yeah, she pretends to be the therapist, and she's like going along with all these coys. She's so funny, and she's a train wreck.
Oh, Catherine Hahn in general is just hilarious. So like, I'm not surprised she would make the list.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you said train wreck, because that's a big one that you completely forgot.
John Cena.
Oh.
Well, yeah, he's in it, but the real best rom-com sidekick is literally a fellow king who plays himself, LeBron James. For the love of God, man, how do you miss that?
Probably because I hate this movie. I don't know what it is. It's probably Amy Schumer is why I hate it, but I don't know.
It's the Amy Schumer Bill Hader combo. It's so off-putting.
It's weird. It's weird, but it's funny.
It's like almost bad. It's like
yes, it's one of I would put it, McKenna. It's so bad that it's good, and for me, it's so bad that it's bad. I understand, Greg. It's just, I can never get over. I don't think Amy Schumer's funny. I never have thought she's funny, and she does a lot of things that just piss me off and like get my blood boiling. Like when she tries to be funny and she's not funny, but it happens.
Yeah. Actually, Deke had one in the comments that's actually not bad. Russell Brandon forgetting Sarah Marshall as Aldous Snow. I don't hate that, but he's also kind of the rival in that one. So like I can't. So like that's kind of hard to like put him in that one, but great character though.
Would you consider Just Go With It a rom-com?
Yeah.
Because you could put
that, and it's like in that era.
Wow.
Listen, we'll call anything a rom-com today. If Mean Girls is a rom-com.
Could be.
Technically, you could classify it as a rom-com.
Just Go With It was from 2011, so it fits that date range.
I'm trying to think. Like there was a comment because I was researching this thing. They said if two people get together in Mean Girls, then yes, it's a rom-com. But I don't think it happens. So that's why they like are on the very edge of it. Because as I was like researching sidekicks, what's his name came up. She doesn't even go here. Like
Damien.
Yeah. I'm like, man, I want to put it so bad, but I don't know if it's a rom-com. So I stuck with it. Just like we're sticking with the show, which I love so much. Again, I have to say it. So now we move on from sidekicks to the second radical ranking of the evening. Greg's conducting goes like this and moves all stuff in the all right, so we move on from the best rom-com sidekicks to now we move on to the best rom-com tropes. These are what make rom-coms rom-coms. Some of you might disagree with these. Maybe this is the reason why I refuse to watch them a lot anymore. Getting back into the spirit of things, but yes, McKenna, I'm assured that I will hit all of these tropes right on the head, as some of them annoy the living absolute shit out of me, but they are good. I appreciate them. So this one, not as much, but you do see it more or less towards the Christmas time of romantic comedies. At number 5, Business Becomes Love. This is one that I am infuriated by half the time. It's like we have a actor or actress who is just, they're busy. They're like, oh, I'm the CEO of this company. I have so much to work on. There's so much busy talk. But then they move back to their hometown for like having not seen it in so long. And it's like, then they meet like a person that like melts butter for a living and sculpts it, and they're like, oh my god, I can get into this. Like this is incredible. And then they just like I have to put all my business stuff on the side because now I'm manageable and I can live with that.
I'm glad to
Like,
know. I'm glad to know that Austin is a huge Hallmark Christmas movie
That's
fan.
I was gonna
basically
say
what it
that's
is, man.
so Hallmark.
Mhm.
This
So
is the Hallmark for this is my one Hallmark card for this like romantic comedy section. But it happens. It happens in every single Christmas movie that I've seen. In fact, I think Lindsay Lohan, I think, is just in a new rom-com Christmas movie that's on Netflix that I've been avoiding. But somehow I feel like my girlfriend's gonna make me watch it at some point, and
More
I
than
guarantee
likely, yes.
that might be how it ends. So I don't know. I'm just assuming at this point. Uh, does it belong? I mean, I think so. McKenna, what do you feel?
does it belong? It belongs off the top 5 list. It's the worst.
Wow.
I hate it. I'm a sucker for Hallmark. Well, I'm a sucker for Christmas movies, but yeah, I hate like rich person, not rich person, or like, oh, I'm gonna try something new because I hate my job. Like, just stick with what you know. I'm surprised that you have this on your list because I also hate it.
This
There's
is more a line of I feel like when I say best, a lot of these, I mean, none of these make me happy when I watch them. I'm like, here we go. It's the same
Not a lot of things make you happy, though,
over.
in fairness, bud. So that's understandable.
That's very true. I'm a
Yeah.
very restless soul with just fills with alcohol. So I
Yeah,
really
that's
can't.
true. That should be looked at in future instances. Just saying, but yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'm seeing my cardiologist, but until then, all right, we hit on to number 4. We have, which I love the picture. I love this movie with the picture. We have number 4, Friends to Lovers. It's like, oh, we've been best friends for how long? Hunky dory, and then they're making out in a bed. We don't know why, but it just happens. And the movie that I bring about to you, Friends with Benefits, describes that completely. It's like, oh, we're gonna try this and no strings attached kind of thing. I hate putting Friends with Benefits and no strings attached in the same sentence.
It's literally the same movie, though.
It's like
They came out at the exact same time, too.
it reminds me because it's the same thing as White House Down and
Olympus Has Fallen.
Olympus Has Fallen. They're the same movie.
The literally exact
better
same. It
than
was
the other.
funny as hell.
Good movies, but exactly.
Well, one
the
is
same.
better than the other one. Friends with Benefits kills, no strings attached. Sorry, Ashton Kutcher, you need to get punked, boy.
I mean, in fairness, Natalie Portman is hard to beat versus Mila Kunis. I'm just saying.
You get it.
It's difficult. It's very difficult.
In terms of this, though, it's the same thing where like a friend has liked some friends so long, but they do that like weird like hands in the pockets, kicking stones. Like I want to tell her how I feel, but like I'm afraid it'll ruin the relationship, and I don't want that. And then finally, it comes out, and it either works or it doesn't. Most of the time with rom-coms, you have to have a happy ending, so it does work. So, does it belong where it belongs? Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm surprised at how we're agreeing right now. I hope we start disagreeing, but like it's worse than it's bad. It's bad. And I read a lot of books. I made a joke about reading earlier, but I do read a lot of books, and if it's like a friends to lovers book, I'm out. I just don't like it. It's too unrealistic. Like I don't know. I like and if you don't like each other first, it just builds the plot so much more. Like Friends, no. I'm not a fan. I think it deserves 4, even the 5th spot.
Yeah. Try and do that today. I mean, it's hard for people to even classify what's a relationship these days. They're like, so are we relationships? Like, no, but we do everything that requires a relationship. Yeah, but I don't want a label. I'm so happy I have someone. I couldn't.
It's even hard to make friends. Who are we kidding?
Yeah, exactly. For real. What you have to do, you have to go out and socialize. Ugh.
Meet people on the internet.
Which again reminds me why I'm surprised that you left your little bubble to go to a concert. So just saying.
I love concerts, Craig.
That's what that
I love all
requires.
the people there. Probably not.
I didn't
But-
notice you, honestly. I was enjoying myself.
Whoa. Ouch, you're so mean.
Wow.
Anyway, we will move on to number 3. I can't stand this one because it bothers me so much because it happens so many times. This is number 3, The Secret Millionaire.
Ooh.
It gets, I know it's a little spicy. I know. But it's like they start dating and it's like, oh, you dress kind of nice. You have all these like, and then you have people come in. It's like, sir, your appointment is for a new haircut. Is it fine? We have to move. And it turns out this person secretly has a whole bunch of money. It's played off a little bit in Crazy Rich Asians, but like people know that person's a millionaire. It's not. I think it's what it's a secret millionaire. It's a secret to the person in the relationship, or secret to that person that's conversating. It happens so many times that I just want to be like, oh, so this person can find, how many like millions of dollars in somebody, but that's all right. Whatever. It's
So
stupid.
so wait a sec, Austin. Would it also count in like the reversal of it? So like a rich person like falls for like a commoner to a degree. You know, like
A peasant, some would say.
yeah, you know.
But they don't know they're a peasant.
Yeah, like no, like the movie that like I think of like when that came up was Made in Manhattan.
Mm.
That's like the immediate one that comes to my mind. Like, does this count in? Does this also count to that degree?
I think sure, but I think the angle normally points to the person that has less money finding out that someone has a lot of money in this case. It's like, oh, you're a peasant.
You mean like so? Okay, so literally Aladdin.
Well, let's listen.
Well,
all right?
well, what about royalty? Like, I know there's a
Not wrong.
bunch of movies that are like secret royalty. Like, I found out you're a king. I found
Yeah.
out you're a duke. Like,
That kind of plays into this a lot. It's kind of
Yeah.
the same thing. I
hate
didn't
that shit.
know how- Yeah, it's annoying.
It's so bad.
It's like, oh, you are actually the son of Abercrombie and Fitch. Oh my God! Should kneel down and praise to you. Like it's so. I hate it. Oh, I feel like I want to watch one of these after and just get drunk, just make fun of it. But we get to number 2. We talk about friends to lovers, but what happens when you don't know each other and you almost hate each other? Because number 2, we have the enemies to lovers trope. So
He's not a fan of tension and animosity, so
I'm not.
You're not a
I
fan
get
of
it.
conflict.
You're number 2.
I do.
Number
Listen, I
2,
get-
and you still hate it.
Oh, listen, I hate all these, but like I can appreciate for what they are. Like I said, it gets me talking about a rom-com, and for that, I feel like it deserves to be on the list. How many times where it's like a different school or like a person that you hate on the job, or you just somehow end up together? I'm like, didn't you just want to rip out each other's like throats like 5 seconds ago,
Yeah.
and now you're
there's
like,
a thin line between love and hate, but
well, that thin line is apparently like, it's
Ping,
spicy.
that's why it's called thin.
Ping said this was Jackie's number 1. Boo.
I bet it was Jackie's number 1. Oh, no offense, Ben. I love it and I hate it.
Guy's an idiot, Jackie. Crime Project. You don't know what you're talking about, Austin. Vo should be running this show when I'm absent.
Yeah, see, this is like,
I don't know who Crime Project is, but I'm a fan.
Yeah.
it's such a real world thing. You are right. It's like I appreciate all of these, but talking about them just makes me like, why are you doing this? Like, it doesn't make sense. And I use the Bridgerton thing because they're enemies, but it's not like they hate it. They're just from across different like spectrums, I guess I should say, of like a landscape and everything. So everything to them is technically an enemy, which, believe me, I had Bree watch all of Bridgerton and she couldn't stop talking about it. And I said,
Wait. You had her watch? I'm surprised she didn't make
She
you watch
watched it. No, she watched it, but she tried to make me watch it. I said, oh, no.
Yeah, that's not what you
stories,
said. That's not what you
okay.
said.
That's okay. Yeah, no. I might have like told her about it and then she watched it, but no, she knows very well that I will not sit down and watch anything like that with her.
Yeah.
I try, I very much try, but then I make a lot of comments, and then she kicks me out of the room. So,
Listen, I'll say most of my list is enemies to lovers or in that realm.
in that realm.
Big fan. And I do have some other, some ones that I said I hated, but there's always the exception. But it just like adds to the story. Like,
Right.
there has to be a reason that they get together in the end.
It's like a forbidden love, basically.
Well, that's a whole different trope, though. In fact, the forbidden love trope is a lot.
That's not your number one, is it?
No, it's not.
Okay.
No, it's not. But that ties in with like the Romeo and Juliet style, and no, I can't do it. I honestly prefer Romeo and Juliet, if I'm being completely honest. But at number one, which you guys are gonna love the picture, we have number one, the love triangle.
God.
Everyone loves
Oh, Jesus.
steamy love triangle.
The picture made me laugh.
McKenna, I don't know if you're looking or not, but it is the Twilight picture between Bella.
Listen, I have a Twilight t-shirt on.
Oh my God.
It would have been funny if it was the same picture that's on here.
I like the dad. No.
I mean, this is in every single one, whether you want it to be or not. This is, like I said, it made Twilight. I was like, you're either Team Edward or I can't remember, Team Jake. Is that right?
Yeah, who were you?
Yeah,
Let's go around the room.
if I had to say, it's probably Edward. I'm a Eddie. So.
Eddie.
Me too.
Though, Greg, you Team Edward?
I honestly have no idea.
I'd probably say,
Greg, you gotta pick right here.
I
before we
don't
move on,
know.
Greg.
I'd say Edward because I don't like what's his face. I don't like his face.
I'd probably go Edward because he was Batman. I don't fucking know.
There you go. That's all you had to say. All right. So we got 4 to known. Suck it, Wolf Boy. That's what it is. Yeah, the love triangle. I mean, they're virtually in every single Tyler Perry movie that ever existed. It's incredibly crazy how that's the case. I honestly believe they should just make a love triangle around the shea butter commercial for. What is that? Help me out, guys. The men's Old Spice.
Okay, those are
Yeah.
funny. Those are funny. I'll give you
They
that.
should just make a love triangle out of those at this point because it's gonna happen. It's but yes.
Oh wow, we do have a Team Jacob in the chat.
Oh God, is
Boo.
it
Crime Project, yeah.
Crime Project? I was hoping it was Ping. It's all right. But yes, I mean, this is it, right? This is where it's like I love him, but I love him. Maybe I love her. I don't know. There's so many around. It's so divisive. Like, because it has to be number one.
I disagree, but
Oh,
you can think what you want. It's not bad, but it's not. Oh, it gives me the just ugh.
The
It gives me the
heebie-jeebies.
heebie-jeebies when there's too many options. Like, you gotta have one option. You gotta
You're
have your
playing-
eyes on the prize.
You a plain burger type of girl, McKenna? Like you just like one option, you like ketchup on it, and that's it.
No, I like
Trick
a
question.
nice.
Don't say you like ketchup. That's gonna make fun of you.
I like a nice burger with all the fixins, but
Okay.
yeah. But I don't like too many options in my romantic comedies,
Okay. All right.
in my love interests.
Got you. The love triangle, I think it's perfect. I might hate it like a good 50% of the time, but when it's done right, it's done hilarious. I'm trying to like, probably like, I mean, Twilight, in my opinion, is honestly hilarious just watching it. But your neighbors.
I'll say, like, The Notebook is like one of the most famous rom-coms,
God.
and that's a big love triangle movie.
Hate
So
that
let
movie.
me ask you something though, and that can be like no, we already have a great debate. I've read a lot of things that saying that The Notebook is technically not a rom-com.
It's just
I
a
mean, we could change the
romance.
great debate to this if you want, because I think that'd be interesting.
No. I'm fine with keep. I mean, Greg just doesn't want to come up with stuff.
I don't. I hate it. I hate it so much. I fucking
Greg, this
hate
is a
it.
creative show, and we demand creative outlook, fam.
I refuse to do it this time.
Oh my god! What do you mean you refuse to do it? This
Well, here.
you gonna walk
We
out?
could give R3 and he could pick his favorite.
I like it.
idea.
Yes, love it. Go ahead. Love that
Want to
idea.
do that?
My best friend's girlfriend was good with it. Jesus, crime project. On that note, I probably it's too much, too TMI in the chat sometimes. But yeah, I think those are perfect. And now let us move on to the favorite part of the show, which is the great beta. All right, everybody. The great debate is a very simple one, which Greg doesn't want to do, but it's fine.
Nope.
You have to make your own plot for your own romantic comedy or rom-com. I am excited for this. I love how I'm talking about the movie shit. Still,
How many
it's a-
tropes are you gonna fit into this? Just out of curiosity.
oh, I might have a movie of just tropes. That might just be what it is.
Grind Project in the chat. Please give the order for these
Yeah.
three lovely
Since you're
contestants.
watching now, he did text
Yeah,
me. We'll
remember
see.
that Greg's dissociating himself from the conversation. so he
Yeah, I
doesn't
have
wanna
no
be
desire to do this. So by
So
all
don't
means, I
put his
can't wait
name
to
in
see
there,
this.
unfortunately. It's all right.
I was thinking throughout this whole show, so I came up with a little something.
Yeah, I gave no thought whatsoever, so I'm not doing it.
We'll see if he comments. He did text me an order. So you just want to go with that?
Well,
Well,
he's
he
not gonna.
texted-
He's clearly not gonna put it in the chat. So go ahead.
It had me, McKenna, Austin, Greg.
Yeah, I ain't doing
So-
it. So perfect.
All right. So, yeah, Evo guess. Sorry, I missed your name. McKenna, you literally you texted it to him.
No,
but
he
you
did
can't-
say guest.
Okay.
I added McKenna.
I thought
because
he put her
just
name,
wanted to say
like, in the
guest.
That'd be
text
funny
message.
as hell if that's the case. That's some real bad memory on Grind Project's part if that's the
No,
case.
because I said, text me an order. We have a guest.
He's so silly. What a silly goose. All right. So let's do it. Everyone's a little bit familiar now with rom-coms, so let's see what it is. Vo, what is your plot?
All right. So like I said, I just came up with this. It's a short little plot, but it's gonna start off with these two friends growing up, a boy and girl. They're best of friends. They have huge crush on each other. They're like boyfriend girlfriend, but they're like little kids. So then they both move. Their families move separate directions of the country. Like don't see each other forever. So it goes on. They live their lives. They come back to. They're both on a work trip, and they're in. I didn't come up with a city. Do I have to name a city?
Let's say Seattle.
Okay, yeah, Seattle. They have a work trip in Seattle. Both of them, they're living their life. Both single. They have no luck dating. So they're trying all the different apps like Tinder, Bumble, whatever else.
Mm-hmm.
No luck. And the movie shows like their dates, like crazy people, like just interesting characters they go on dates with. Until one day they see a speed dating thing at the local hotel. And they're like, oh, we'll try it. So they go through the rounds and then they end up talking to each other. Don't realize that they were childhood crushes.
Mm-hmm.
So they start talking, go on a couple dates, and then they start showing pictures of each other's childhood, and they're like, wait, like I have that same picture. And they just basically fall in love all over again. But the dilemma, because there's always a dilemma,
There's always a dilemma.
that the guy, he gets offered his dream job to move to, he lived in, we'll say, California, and she lives in Colorado, but his job offer was in New York, and it's his dream job. He wants to move. So he doesn't want to turn down the job. He moves there, and then he realizes, I messed up. I already lost her once. I got to go back. And boom.
Do you get
fall in love, happy ending.
Do you get like the airport scene where you're like running through to like
Hell
meet each other or
yes,
something
you
like
do.
that?
Of course you do.
All right.
Yeah, of course you do.
Hell yes.
Yeah, the characters can be named Simba and Nala.
Yeah, I was gonna say we have some comments. We have some comments in the chat. Brian Project, is this Lion King but with people? And can the characters be named Simba and Nala? You also have to have the scene where they're like speed dating, and then they walk out, and it starts like sprinkling and then pouring down rain. And it's like, oh my gosh, I forgot it was so long. Like, again, I want to see, like, I am not making fun of this. It's just my way of
Very well
interpreting.
thought out.
It's a romantic comedy.
Very well thought out, I'd say, yes.
That was good.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was more information than I thought you were gonna have, which makes mine.
Well, I kept building as I was talking more and more.
That's good. No, that's really good, actually.
Start
All right.
writing it down, right? You can write it.
Yeah, I'll start writing the script now. Greg, you want to be in the movie?
No.
All right. So, what's the title of your? Do you have a title for it?
It would have to be. I was trying to think of a good one. Speed.
Just speed.
The speed of love.
Speed of love. I like that.
I was gonna say speed dating, but
I was gonna say speed.
Speed.
Speed. I was trying to go like speed something, but yeah, we'll go speed of love.
All right, McKenna, you are up.
All right. That's gonna be tough to follow. Let's say. Okay, I'm gonna create a movie that I'd actually watch. Okay, so mine is they're in college. He's a football player, probably the quarterback, but open for debate.
Kicker.
And he's like failing his classes, he's ineligible. And then there's this girl in one of his classes, and she's really smart, and he notices that she's really smart, but she's kind of quiet. And he's like, oh, we should like, you should help tutor me. Okay, and she's like not into it. And because there's no like gain for her. She realizes that, you know, she has a crush on someone else, like that's not him. And he proposes like, hey, I can help you get this guy if you help me study. And they've got this, like, they start to fake date. Okay, so he's like training her on dating, and she's tutoring him and helping his grades go up. Now that I'm saying this, I feel like I've seen this movie before.
It sounds like Can't Buy Me Love.
Sounds like the Duff.
Yeah,
But
that's what I was gonna say.
But obviously, as time goes on, they realize that they love each other and they're interested in each other. And there's like obviously the scene where she's actually gonna go on the date with the other guy, and he's like, that can't happen. And so he puts a stop to that. And they end up together, and they're kind of like a mismatched pair. You wouldn't put them together. And they fight a lot in the beginning. So we've got some enemies to lovers. We've got some fake dating. I'm a big sports movie fan, so that aspect's always helpful for me.
You got a name for it?
Oh my God. I should have talked longer to think about a name.
Or that could be Greg's job. Come up with names for our movies.
No, you're getting his creative juices flowing. He's gonna get mad. Like,
No, he likes this part.
Nah, because this one's like at least shortened to the point, so it's not that big. Huh.
Any help is appreciated.
Yeah, I'm struggling on that one.
What about like we got like the end zone, the end zone.
The end zone. Grind
like
Project
that.
walks in.
Okay.
The Duff too.
That too, yeah. He does play football in that movie, I think. So, God, I just recreated something I've already seen.
Yeah,
And just
you add a little twist to it. It's
I like
okay.
the end zone though, because
There's so many romantic
good.
comedies though that you're bound to trip over like a movie that you've seen already just from seeing.
Oh,
so
I
many.
guarantee you that like any rom-com you've seen, there's been something that's already been done before. You can make the same case with any genre. There's probably been stuff in horror movies that have been done repeatedly over
So
and
many
over and
times.
over again. Yeah.
So many times.
The speed dating was unique, so that does give it the edge up. Not that I don't want to campaign for my own, but
All right.
I appreciate that.
Austin, what do you got?
Oh, I think you didn't. Okay. All right. So I had a real one and I had a fake one. I will say the real one first, and then I will say the fake one afterward because I think it's equally funny. The real one entitles of a brilliant genius, like creating his own scientific AI programming. This kind of pulls in different movies and such, but he ends up creating an artificial intelligence within this android that he starts to develop, like kind of like he's very socially anxiety driven, like always stays inside, always does his own thing. He's afraid of everyone in the world, but he connects with this entity, this AI programming. And finally, when he realizes that it's not meant to be, the AI programming simply like trains him in a way to become a more sophisticated person in life and not just like, when we bring up like dating and everything, all the boys are like, oh, you gotta do this. That's how you gotta get her. It's and the girl's like, oh my god, you gotta do this. You gotta dress up, all up. It's gonna be great. But like the AI programming like teaches like him how to be like a decent human being more in society, and people notice that, and he ends up actually like going on his first date, so to speak, and it's unfortunate because as soon as he sits down and he like sees the person across the table, he reaches he like looks across the table and goes, hello, my name is the name, and then the movie ends. I love the implicity with it. My joke movie was,
It's very A24 like, I would say.
Oh, so it brings an aspect from like Her, which I love that movie a lot. A lot of people are like, oh, what do you like that? It's a great movie. People, Joaquin Phoenix is a genius. Understand it. And different like coaching movies along the way, like with coaching like through just like people like trying to be different, like in any movie. It's like, hey, I can teach you to be this. And then that person eventually like turns on that person and it's like, I helped you along the way. How could you? Like kind of that scenario. So if I had to give a title for this one, I'd say Reprogrammed. I think that's a decent.
Okay.
My joke one was involving a woman that is lactose intolerant that falls in love with a cheesemonger. And because why not? And
Or he could just be a Packers fan, cheesehead.
That'd be funny. Oh my god, that's funny.
I think
it's just like
with your first one, I think it's funny that you said like the AI is going to teach him how to be a human because it's just ironic.
Right.
Ford just said AI love.
AI love
For the name.
Yeah. I'm trying to think because, like, all right. Austin sounds like something that would be submitted to, like, South by Southwest Music Festival or something like that. McKenna sounds like something that would be released on, like, a direct-to-DVD as, like, something to, like, get people hyped. And yours sounds like a Hallmark Channel movie, honestly.
Maybe.
So I like how it's, like, all three different styles on that, and I can appreciate them all having their different flares. But you know what? Just because of the fact that it was like extremely so well thought out and you were rambling about it, I'm gonna give it to you.
Yes.
Take
that, Austin. McKenna, yours is cool, but take that, Austin.
You know what? Oh my god. This is just Greg's opinion. We'll put these on socials and everyone to vote for the actual like individuals that like keep the show going. You know, it's crazy. But man, damn you, Craig! I fought so long for that one in my head.
Good job.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Oh my god, you guys suck. All right. I actually think I'm gonna have to go with Austin on this one. This is a grind project. Let's go.
Yeah. The
All right.
one time grind project's actually on your side.
Yeah, for real. I like all the movies. I love all the titles, guys. What we're gonna do is again, we're gonna put those on social. People are gonna vote for them. And we'll. I'm asking you. You're the one that does it.
How do you want me to do that?
Call up the Duff too. I'll win with the Duff too.
Just
Type
call.
the
Just
whole
put the
plot?
names. If you want to type out your whole manifesto plot, please don't. That was insanely long, but all right. What we're gonna do now is everyone that is watching the show, please go use the facility, use the restroom, go get something to eat real quick, go grab a beer, and we will be right back as McKenna and I go head to head in the top 10. Bring it back. Romantic comedy ranking of the evening. Stay tuned.
Let's dive right into sports, as I have strong opinions on that. Which college team could beat a professional team in the same sport right now?
Okay.
There is not a single answer that is better than the LSU Tigers defeating the Cincinnati Bengals.
Even if I know the pitch that's coming, every other part of me is still normal.
That's why it's frustrating for me, Greg.
It's like okay, if I know what something is coming, I know ahead of time. I still have to be able to do the action to get the result that I need.
Okay, so they won 3 games in 10 years with 3 rebuilds.
I don't lose at arguments. All
Especially about fast food, so yeah.
You will never walk alone. Guess what? Now you will. Coronavirus.
I barely touch my girlfriend's cat. The most I'd be willing to do is like just kind of put my finger on its forehead and just like.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, with us is Alex Kazor from Steelers Depot.
We are live with Ryan Smith, professional cornhole player in the ACL. Ryan,
What all franchise were you able to work with in the NHL?
With Phoenix, Carolina, and Detroit.
So here is Moorhead's ranking. Moorhead is my cousin. He is the rank king.
Higher
Top 10 extra Power Rangers.
This is the top 10 emo songs of the 2000s.
There's only one correct answer for number 1. Why is F is for Family better than Futurama when Futurama is like Star Wars for potheads? Like
I know.
Well, I think
We have one or two that are mad in the chat.
You're welcome for that.
okay, we're gonna get banned.
Oh, you didn't get that? Darn it.
Do it again.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is my favorite part of the entire show when we have a guest. The top 10. It's myself versus McKenna. McKenna will give her 10. I will give my number 10. She'll give her number 9. I'll give my number 9. And we'll veer off in domino effect from there. And you will decide who is the winner at the end. We will put these on social for you to vote. Tonight, we have the top 10 rom-coms. There's definitely going to be some differentials, disagreements. I assume if we were together, there'd be a lot of hair pulling, but since there's not, we save each other the scalp warfare for it. Instead, I'm going to drink a Halu Kiki and enjoy this, guys.
And there's some aggressive friends if you're going to be pulling each other's hair. Damn.
We don't know each other that well.
No, we don't. It might happen. You never know. People's opinions get in the way, man. All right. McKenna, what is your number 10?
All right. My number 10. Watched it today just to confirm it was my number 10.
Okay.
Had to fucking buy it. Buy it because it's not on any streaming services. Is 27 Dresses.
Wow.
I'm surprised you had to buy that.
Yeah, me too. I was on every service and I could not find it. So I spent $4 in preparation for the show. But it's like just a top tier movie for me. I love Katherine Heigl. She's like one of those people that's a rom-com queen. And I love James Marsden. And again, Casey bumps this movie for me. This movie is number 10 with Casey involved.
I was gonna say if it didn't have Casey, doesn't make the top 10, but I guess you just confirmed that. So
Yeah. Also, I'm like I haven't been in 27 weddings, but I've been in like 8 or 9 weddings in the last 5 years. So I relate. It's like
So you're going for 27.
I'm going for 27, and I like make jokes all the time, like, oh, it's the bridesmaid, never the bride. I make it in my work meetings, and my boss is like, be careful what you wish for, you know.
all right. This might be a controversial pick to start out with, but I'm going in on it. We have the Master as well as the Mister. All right. We have at number 10, we have How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
You just did this because 10.
No, that might have been.
Yeah.
No,
I've seen
so
your
there's
rankings
another option I could have had.
Trying to be
but
cute, I
chose-
see.
There's another option I tried to have, but I thought this was the more appropriate one. I just love Matthew McConaughey so much. If that man came out with a Bible, I feel like I'd read it. I basically say all right, and green light.
Well, he
and
actually
drink
did release a
popcorn.
book like a couple years ago.
I know, but I can't. We established this, Greg. I can't read, so
Oh, yeah, good
it's.
point.
He reads it. You should listen to it. I listened to it.
I
this
would
year.
love to hear his voice. It's like, all right, we gotta get out on the prairie, buy a Lincoln. Here's another day. I mean, Kate Hudson, incredible in this film as well. This just has to be on here. It has to be on here. I love the plot. I love the people. It's my number 10.
Interesting.
Does it belong? Actually, I'm not going to ask you, Matt McKenna, because it might be on your list later, and I don't want to spoil it. So, we had your number 10. Now let's go to your number 9.
Okay, my number 9 is 50 First Dates.
Oh, the classic.
Okay.
It's a good one.
Classic. Okay. Adam Sandler, Drew Barrymore. Like, I actually hate memory loss and like amnesia plot lines, but this one's done pretty well. I think it's so cute, and Forgetful Lucy bumps it again. Like, there's just a lot of these movies have like 1 or 2 scenes that like cement it on my list for me, and for me it's singing Forgetful Lucy. When I was younger, I watched this movie so many times, and it's a staple for me.
Totally understand that. Derek would be very happy to know that you put an Adam Sandler movie on this list.
Could
Adam
Hubie Halloween
Sandler,
be?
big Hubie Halloween?
Could it be a romantic comedy?
I bet you he would find a way to make the case.
You know what, Deke? I'm gonna do you one better. One of your favorites here. I'm coming in at number 9, and you might argue it might be a little bit low. However, it is on the list, so you should be thankful for that. Number 9, we have Forgetting Sarah Marshall. I thought this movie was genius, incredible, hilarious beyond end. All the stars coming together, putting this the way it is. Blanking on names here. I am terrible with names. Hold on.
Jason Segel, Mila Kunis, Russell Brand, Jonah Hill, Paul Rudd.
I mean, everybody works well together. Everyone has their own set character. Seagal is hilarious in this movie, and Russell Brand, which at times I wonder is if he's still alive or not. I have no idea because I just haven't seen Russell Brand since. It's like Michael Cera. Once the 2000s were over, I never saw them again, and I wonder if they were actual people or just phenomenons.
Which by the way, Deke just texted me. If Scott Pilgrim is a rom-com, Hubie Halloween is too.
And Deke's
You
not
can
happy
tell
about
me-
this one.
You tell me one aspect of him throwing up in the middle of on that bike makes this a romantic comedy, Deke.
He's chasing the girl.
Such a
Vampire musical in this one.
But yes, forgetting Sarah Marshall at number 9. What do you have for your number 8, McKenna?
A little lesser known one, but another Katherine Heigl movie is Life as We Know It. It has Josh Duhamel in it, and their friends pass away like right at the beginning of the movie, and they leave their baby, their brand newborn baby, to these two, and they like dated in college and it went horribly. They hate each other, and now they have to raise a baby together. And there's like, again, one scene where they get drop-ins from it's like CPS or that kind of worker, to see if they're fit to be parents. And the night before, they smoke a ton of weed and they are just so high. And then the next morning, the CPS worker is knocking on their door for a check-in, and they're like just scrambling to get together. But there's the classic third act breakup where they think they love each other, and then they break up, and then they get with other people, and then they finally come together at the end. It's lesser known, but good one.
I can appreciate that. I love the aspect of being really funny with the weed. I think that'd be hilarious. My number 8 is what you've said already at number 9, and that is 50 First Dates. I did not think that both of us would have this on our list, and I'm equally okay with it and equally pissed that we are like one off.
Here we go again.
It's the same thing, man. I don't know how it is. Yes, 50 First Dates. From everything that you said, Adam Sandler is key in this. Drew Barrymore is hilarious, and also stricken with memory loss. I guess you're not a fan of Finding Nemo, then, McKenna. You might not be. I don't.
That's parents reuniting with their children. That's heartwarming.
Oh, that's Finding Dory. Well, yeah, I get
Finding
you.
Dory.
But also Finding Nemo. Yes. P. Sherman, Wall to a
42.
Number 7. I had it and I lost it. I had it. All right, McKenna, you're number 7.
Okay, another one that I watched today, obviously work from home, so is Maid of Honor, MADE of Honor, has Patrick Dempsey in it and Michelle Monaghan, and they're best friends, but he's like a player. He doesn't want ever to have a relationship, and she moves to Scotland and finds a duke. So a lot of things I hate in this movie, but somehow they work together.
A lot of tropes, yeah.
A lot of tropes. But she ends up asking him to be her maid of honor or man of honor, and in the process he's like trying to sabotage the wedding, and tell her that he loves her and get her back.
Nice. I want to point out, this is not Vo's fault. I just noticed it. The next one is spelled wrong. The last name is spelled wrong. It auto-corrected, and now I just fixed it. So if you see it come up on the thing, it is not that name. It is something else. But my number 7 is Jerry Maguire. I love this movie a lot. Tom Cruise
Wow.
is...
Would have
Greg,
not.
you saying out?
No. I just like I had to like stop and think for a second, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? It does qualify. Yeah.
It is. It is. Maguire. Yes.
Yeah, that's how I
I
spelled
don't know
it.
why it corrected it to McGuire.
Oh no, I didn't spell it like that. I'm smart.
Well, I swear. The whole aspect of getting his own firm and then using, like, rotating around this town of Cuba Gooding Jr. and making him the reason that him and Renee Zellweger are getting together. It's everything I wanted, and I'm going to say this right now. It was between this one and another one. I will say the other one because I don't think, McKenna, you have it on your list, and I hope not. It was between this and Fever Pitch, and I really, really put this one. I don't know why. The ending scene in Fever Pitch, I think, is beyond like one of the most romantic and stupid things I've seen in a long time.
Wait a second, so you don't have Fever Pitch at all on your list?
Do not have Fever Pitch on this list.
Wow.
I was actually going to bring that up after.
I know.
Wow.
Wow.
Both bangers.
It is, yeah, I know, believe me. I feel like they're kind of too similar for like the retrospective. Perfect acting on both of them, but yes, why don't they just tackle that woman? Like it shouldn't be that hard for her to evade an
No,
entire security team.
no, Deke. Like he does not have fever pitch on his list, is what he's saying. Like he has Forgetting Sarah Marshall, but he doesn't have fever pitch. So
Someone doesn't listen. It's fine. All right, but yes, Jerry Maguire at number 7. We move on to number 6. McKenna.
Number 6 is definitely Maybe. I love this movie. It's like pre the time of all those movies where they're following multiple storylines like Valentine's Day and New Year's Eve, like all these people that end up being interconnected. I love a multiple storyline movie. Little weird that he's like making his daughter guess who the mother is, but I love this movie, and I love Abigail Breslin before she was in her prime. You know, she's like the rom-com child.
Right.
yeah, that's fair.
So I like it, and I like the story because I think there's a lot of good representations of relationships, good and bad. But good one. Number 6.
Love it. All right. My number 6, I've talked about it already. I'm surprised it made it this high, but I love this movie so much. I've watched it like 3 or 4 times in the last like month or 2, and I will continue to watch it. It is a rom-com, and that's Scott Pilgrim versus the World. I will put it on here. I will appreciate it, and I will love it. Listen, if you can
I'm so happy.
You can bring a movie to me that has a boy fighting over a girl over 7 evil exes and make it funny, creative, and electronically sound with a good plot and script.
Oh, the soundtrack alone is
soundtrack
amazing.
Is phenomenal. I mean, I'm your garbage man. Every single actor performs incredibly in this movie.
There's so many great names in this too. Like I forgot Brie Larson is in this until like I think like a few years ago. I remember. Oh my God, she's Envy.
The old Captain America. What's his name in this movie?
Chris Evans. Yeah.
Evans as the douche. Like, that's a lot of words. Too bad.
Aubrey Plaza is the annoyed coffee worker and stuff like that.
Works like 100 jobs. It's hilarious.
Oh
like,
my God. Anna Kendrick is Michael Cera is Scott's sister. Oh my God. Wow.
It brings it all, man. And I love the whole aspect that he can't just dump knives. He can't just do it without also like talking to remote. I'm like, dude, just break up with her. What are we doing here? But it's like, hey, Michael Cera.
Well, it's okay because she turns out to be a ninja, so I wouldn't want to break up with her either.
Well, depends, Greg. Scott Pilgrim versus the World. I think it's one of the most perfect modern day rom-com associations that I can think of. So, at number 6.
Interesting choice.
I know.
I would say it's not. I'm guessing it's not on your list.
No, it's not on my list because I had to be convinced it was a rom-com. I agree it falls under the umbrella, and it's a good movie. Just didn't make my top 10. Number 5, is that where we're at?
Yeah, number 5.
Okay. I have 13 going on 30. Honestly, this movie grew on me the more I watched it. The first time I watched it, I was probably a child, and I didn't like it. And I think I didn't get it, but now I'm closer to 30 than 13, so like I understand it a little more. But I really like Jennifer Garner and Mark Ruffalo, and I think they're like they have good on-screen chemistry. Mm-hmm. The story is, one of those classic time jump movies. And again, what's her face? Casey, but Judy Greer is again in it as the sidekick, and she's hilarious. And she's kind of the big bitch in this movie, but we love her anyway.
I will say, I almost put this movie on my list. My girlfriend was like, you should pick this one. And that's when I went, no.
Wow.
It's on cable.
Couldn't go number 11?
It's on cable. I live with my parents again. Just as I say, I'm closer to 30 than 13. But they always have it on. It's just on like TNT has 13 going on.
TNT,
30
probably FX. I feel like it's
Yeah.
Oh
FX
yeah.
TV.
Oh yeah.
All right, we now go to a movie that was made before I was born. In fact, 1 year before I was, born. And this is the classic 1993 Groundhog Day. I love this movie. It is a romantic comedy. The whole aspect of trying to return to the same day over and over again in order to fix the one thing makes it a perfect freaking movie. So, yes.
Well,
I'm just thrown off. I did not think of Groundhog Day as a romantic comedy at all.
I don't think I ever saw the full movie.
Comedy? Am I the only one who thinks that? McKenna, do you think?
It's definitely a rom-com, and it's a good movie.
But like, here's the thing, like all of the movies that McKenna just listed, in my head, okay, those classify as rom-coms just because like I can pick out all the tropes that are like typically in them and stuff. But like Austin's throwing out like comedies that are like classics to that degree, and I do not like get the rom-com tropes from it at all. Like it's just Bill Murray being great.
I will say when I looked up like best rom-coms, this did come up.
Really?
Yeah.
Man.
It's okay. It'll be a steamroll. My list will win over yours. It'll be a steamroll.
That's what you think. I got all the class.
Okay.
But I appreciate the competition. Let's move on to our number 4, McKenna. What do you got?
Okay, I want to preface this. My 2, 3, and 4 are all movies that I would watch when I got home from the bar in college. Like these were my go-to movies.
These are like your comfort movies, like the ones that
my
are
comfort.
Okay.
Yeah, they're like comfort movies, and so like I definitely recognize that they're maybe not the best, but they're special to me. So number 4 is A Cinderella Story, the Hilary Duff and Chad Michael Murray version. They took this movie off Netflix a few years ago, and I actually called Netflix and was like, when's it coming back on? Like, you can't take this movie away from me. I own it on DVD. I don't even own a DVD player. Like, I love this movie. I can quote most of it. People won't watch it with me because I'm just like talking along with the movie.
It's like you're in the movie.
McKenna, I think, and I might have like, I don't know if I actually saw it accurately or not, but I think it's on Disney Plus.
It's on Netflix again, and I feel like it can't be on both.
I'm not sure because like I just remember let's see. I went to go watch I can't remember what the hell I was watching on Disney Plus, but like I swear I saw it like on the ticker for like one of the sections it was on. So like that's the only reason I just remembered it.
Saw it
Netflix right now.
Yeah.
It's on Netflix. Oh, it's on Netflix right now. I know.
Austin, you keeping up with the comment section here?
No, I'm not. I have a job that I'm doing all right, but okay. So no, definitely never wrong. But Austin is for sure not wrong.
There's a girl in Osmosis Jones.
Yeah, they said there's a girl.
LOL. Osmosis Jones is number 1. That's hilarious. I love that movie.
You're picking movies that you like.
Also a Bill Murray movie. Just saying.
True.
Yeah.
You know what, you guys? You know what? Whatever. Here's an actual. If you guys don't believe those ones are rom-coms, here's an actual rom-com for you at number 4. Okay.
Osmosis Jones.
We talk about how it's like, oh, you should have put that at 10. This is the other one I was thinking of. This is 10 Things I Hate About You. This is a romantic comedy.
Yeah, this is a romantic comedy. I'll give you
that.
This is 100% romantic comedy.
Julia Stiles, Heath Ledger, Joseph Gordon-Levitt. That's all I need to say. It's hilarious. It's well done. The scene where like she's playing soccer. Is that what she's doing? Yeah, and he's like in the stands and everything. It's incredible. I love it. And you know, a lot of people associate Heath Ledger with the Joker role. I get it. I will associate with him, but this one had like the back burner. I enjoy it for what it was. So 10 Things I Hate About You at number 4.
And to take on a Shakespeare play too, which is pretty cool.
Exactly. So suck it, Deke. Crime Project nerds.
Right, now on the top 3.
Top 3. Okay. This is the movie, again, comfort movie, but I watch this movie when I'm sad. I tweet about this movie constantly, like an annoying amount. And it's a newer one, came out in 2018, I think. The friend I'm staying with right now in Nashville, I made her watch it a couple nights ago. It is a Netflix original, and it is Set It Up with Zoe Deutsch and Glenn Powell. They are assistants in like, I mean, just piss on jobs, and they are trying to get some free time, so they set their bosses up, and it kind of gets out of hand. Their bosses end up like actually getting together, but they realize that they don't know anything about each other, and in the process those two realize that they've got it for each other. So I think I love Glenn Powell and Zoe Deutsch. I think they're both hilarious and just like bring incredible energy together on screen, and I will defend this movie with my life. So don't come for me.
I feel like I have seen this on Netflix. I don't think I've ever watched it, McKenna, but I think I've seen it going through the.
Yeah,
I know for a fact that I recognize like the last 2 supporting actors. I know that I recognize those 2. I don't think I've ever recognized Glenn Powell. I don't know if I've seen him.
He's in Top Gun Maverick.
Okay, well there you go.
But this is the movie on my like top. I heard that you got some homework for Thanksgiving, some movie homework.
Yeah.
This is the movie I gave as homework to Ian.
Okay.
So
how did he appreciate it?
He hasn't told me, so I think not well.
Naturally. Yeah, he's so.
He had seen the majority of the movies on my list, so the list that I had to choose from for homework was iffy.
I will have to check this out though. This is my homework that I will get this out. Okay. I was 4 years old when this movie came out. Is now on HBO. A lot of people I don't think it's the greatest thing, but I love the chemistry between these two. And that is the 1998 classic You've Got Mail. Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan.
I'm with you, Austin. I really love this movie.
Right, Craig?
I love this movie. I don't know why, but it's like it's just like it's comfort. I agree with you on that.
The fact that they're writing each other without knowing that they're writing about each other to each other is absolutely hilarious. And I'm thinking in the background, you don't know that's who you're writing to. Like it's a pissant for the brain, but I love watching it unfold. And finally they're like, oh, it's you. It's always been you kind of thing. Like it's comforting. Like McKenna says, a comfort movie. This is one that I would watch and maybe only cry a little bit after 6 o'clock on Saturday nights. I don't know.
It's also weird too because Dave Chappelle is the sidekick in this. Really? Yes, it's like it's so like just weird with who's in it, but it's actually a very good cast that's in this, surprisingly.
Oh yeah, I would vote if you have not seen this. I implore you and Morgan to watch this because it's hilarious and very well done. All right, HBO Max if you have it.
Perfect.
Oh. All right, our top 2.
All right, I'm gonna get some hate for this. I already know. Is my number 2 is How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. So I love this movie. All the reasons that you said, Austin, of why you like it, I like it too. And the scene where he brings her back to his family and they play bullshit, like that's a classic scene. And then just like, I mean, the extravagance of the ball that they go to where everything hits the fan, like it's just cinematically ahead of its time. I love it.
Yeah, everything about it is you like you said, ahead of its time. I think the cast was well done. I think the story was well done. It's interesting. We always have this, guys, if you can agree with me, where I will put one in like the bottom and the guest will always put that particular one in like the top 3. This is like maybe the 4th time it's happened.
Yeah. Yep.
And that could be the deciding factor whenever we post like top 10s.
Mm-hmm.
If someone likes that movie, they might go with McKenna. If they don't like it as much, the ranking.
That's how it stands.
And just like the scene where they're at the Knicks game and she's like, I'm so thirsty, can you get me a Pepsi? And there's like 20 seconds left in the game, and he's like, and he goes and does it, and they win on a buzzer beater. And the whole time she's like, she's a huge Knicks fan. It's just so funny to me. It's that probably heavier on the com than the rom in a lot of the movies that are on my list, but I love it so much.
I love it. Now, again, a movie that's more heavily on, I would say, both sides of the rom-com spectrum. Let's give a good old hand for Julia Roberts in Pretty Woman. It's a classic. You cannot go wrong with it. Wealthy businessman, sex worker, I'll say, because I don't want to say the other. We're ahead of our time.
But some of the stuff that we've said on Twitch, come on, I think you're okay.
No, we're a nice clean show, Greg. Don't bring that potty mouth structure here. We're not like that. Yeah, it's it's in my opinion, and I never used to like this movie, but as I grew older, and I was like, okay, I see it. It's aged like fine wine to me. If the wine was a Barefoot Moscato that was at a wine box and I enjoyed chugging it, it's a wonderful experience. I paint a picture for all of you. Please understand it.
Yeah, jeez. Okay.
Idiots. Not you, McKenna. The other two. But yes, I implore this movie. I think I forget what it is. Oh yeah, Richard Gere. And Julia Roberts do an amazing job in this film. And that's why it's my number 2. I know that the critics don't give it a lot of rep. It has like not even 70% on Rotten Tomatoes. You have to be in that mood of like drinking wine and eating chocolates, and basically how I used to spend every Valentine's Day before I met Bree. So,
aww.
You get that, honey? I made a comment that was good about you.
You want to read Forger's comment?
She just
there?
made a fart noise. Okay, she made a fart noise. That's how she feels. As he got older, he wanted to marry okay. Brian, I know Charlie St. Cloud is not on this list, you nerd.
What about Forrest Gump?
No.
We got one left for both of you.
Forrest Gump, you could technically make a case it's a rom-com.
Stop it.
It's everything.
That's true. It is everything.
It's a self-training movie if we're saying that. All right. Number 1, McKenna. This is where, are we going to have the same? I don't think so, but I don't
Definitely
think
not.
She's already shaking her head, so probably not.
Okay.
100% no, because you've already said it. It is 10 Things I Hate About You.
Nice.
A lot of 10s in this list, I see.
10 Things I Hate About You. That could be your ranking, Austin. She's talking about your ranking right now.
Yeah, 10 Things I Hate About Your ranking, your list. A lot of I did notice a lot of my movies have numbers in them. Makes for a good rom-com. No, 10 Things I Hate About You, the scene you're talking about with the bleachers and the gym class or soccer, like that's such a good one. The paint when they go paintballing, and we cannot talk about this movie without talking about her dad. He is so funny, and he's like just so scared of them going out and getting pregnant because he's an OBGYN, and so he's like don't let anyone even look at you because you'll get pregnant. And like that's he just brings the comedy to a whole new level. And then Heath Ledger's incredible, Julia Stiles is incredible. And yeah, if you didn't know that it was a Shakespeare retelling, like it does a really good job of modernizing it, even though it's made in 2002, 2000, somewhere along that line.
Yeah, if you don't know, it's not going to flop the movie or anything, but it's very well retold.
Right.
And now mine might be a cop-out for number 1. And again, change the first word because I was trying to do this while doing like 17 other things, and I just noticed that the first word is wrong. So apologies.
Oh, boy.
I know. Well, sorry. I know. I'm like Mr. Busybody over here. I'm going to be like the number 5 and businessman is just too busy because it's so much business and has to do other business things. But my number number one. Wow, I'm already skewing up words. My number one is classic. 1989's When Harry Met Sally. Listen, my mom used to watch this all the time. And I was like, well, if I'm anything like my mother, and I am, because I rewatch Golden Girls with her. I rewatch. I used to come home from school and she'd be watching Days of Our Lives, and we were sitting there, and I was only into Days of Our Lives where they had the serial killer series that was going on. That there was like someone that was murdering off other people, and then it was like, there's no murder in this. I don't want to watch it anymore.
Aww.
So it's not Greg. I'm probably not right mentally, but it's he goes, it's the classic rom-com. In my mind, and again, this is the second movie on my list that has Meg Ryan in it. Like Meg Ryan, if we're talking about like rom-coms and in my mind, Meg Ryan is one of the most prolific figures of the rom-com era. She just does it so well. I love the aspect between the two, how the movie works, how it's paced, like everything about it. Make sure that it is my number one.
I could make the case that Meg Ryan's like the rom-com girl of the 80s and 90s, probably. Maybe like late 80s, early 90s. Because, I mean, the one that, like, I think you, like, in terms of, like, classics, like, when you think of Meg Ryan, is probably Sleepless in Seattle.
Yeah, that was another one that I thought of. I was like, do I really want that many Meg Ryan movies on here?
Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks movies, by the way.
Yeah, honestly, I had to compromise on some of them. But yeah, Sleepless in Seattle was another one that I thought of. It's just so... When I was like looking up this list and everything, I was like, oh, I actually know a lot of these now more than I thought, because I never pictured myself as a rom-com person. I never sat myself down and like, was like, oh, let's watch a rom-com. But here I am.
Well, here's the other thing, though, Austin. Like, you have stuff on here that I would have never even, like, classified as rom-coms, like, in general. Like, I feel like...
Like Scott Pilgrim?
Yeah, Scott Pilgrim would have never thought of it, but it makes sense.
Groundhog Day. Like, I think
Jerry Maguire I would never thought of as a rom-com, but it makes sense. You know? Like, it's just, like... I feel like you're basically now kind of, like, stretching what can be considered a rom-com.
No, more or less stretching. I think more or less of like diving more in, I think is the appropriate term, and seeing like how well these are. Stretching is such a negative connotation. Diving in sounds like I'm actually.
You're trying to find the rom-com in basically.
Yes, okay. Which it happens. They all happen. So, yeah. And now, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, this is where we turn to you, social media audience. Will it be McKenna's top 10 rom-coms, or will it be my top 10 rom-coms? You will be able to vote on socials. Votash will post those on, and he'll be able to make them all gorgeous for all you wonderful people.
I will say this. I think McKenna has the best pure list, but the problem is that Austin has some, like, ones that are, like, they're classics, yeah. But you don't think of them as rom-coms, but he makes you think that. So it's going to be interesting, I think.
I'll campaign quickly. I don't mind.
It usually goes up on Monday. Like, just let you know, the graphic goes up Mondays.
Oh, I'll campaign like crazy. So I just think, in my personal opinion, like when I was thinking of my list, these are the movies that I gravitate towards rewatching, not necessarily like the classics. Even though I do love, like, Austin, I think your top 3 are all 3 movies that I love. And definitely are rom-coms, but like these 10 that are on my list encompass my personality more. So who do you like more, me or Austin? And I'll campaign to my friends.
Oh, that's how you get them. That's how you get them.
Listen, I am a very likable person, but I'm also, I will accept the hate that comes along with it. I know that while I am a very popular person, I can be a total asshole. So I appreciate what sides come both ways. What are you saying,
Listen, I've always said that.
How many guests do we have?
That's
we'll
fair.
Them as friends.
That is fair. We are technically counting them. That's true.
All right, McKenna, what were you saying?
I was just gonna say, that I've always said that if we ever played like a virtual org together, that we would be ride or dies, but we'd be like secret allies.
Exactly. Which now comes to the point where we always give the guest an opportunity to say what's going on in their lives, what they are doing, if they're involved in anything. So, McKenna, for the last amount of time, I am giving the floor to you. So please tell the people of the RankKing's Courts, thoughts from the bench, exactly who is McKenna and what does she do?
Ooh, fun. I am McKenna and I'm from Michigan. I work for a golf nonprofit called First Tee West Michigan. There's probably a local chapter wherever you are. The Pittsburgh chapter is sweet. The executive director there is awesome. So, but we teach character development through golf. I run the programming there. Super fun, dream job. Love it. So if you have a first tee in your area and you're a golfer, check it out. What else do I do? God. Oh, I'll plug DCP, I guess. DCP is about to run an all-star season, so it's a virtual Survivor. How I got involved, how I met Austin, how I met the whole Moorhead family, led me here. But if you're interested, check out DCP on socials. There's going to be a lot of promo coming up for like all the past seasons. You'll get to vote on who your favorite players are from every season. Austin made the Sweet 16 already.
Who's voting?
Yeah,
for that?
really. Jeez.
It's not these. It's not these people watching.
Yeah,
I am a childhood classic in these. All right, I am loved by so many
a
people.
childhood classic. What?
You're so good for like. I have no idea, like how you are so good at these games. Like it's not because you have skill, but
Funny. I'll admit it. I have said it to I've said it to everyone. I have virtually zero Survivor knowledge, and somehow I make it to the end on every single time. I just bide my time. Whether I am amazing or whether I'm the cockroach that refuses to die. Like I
now
will be.
That's more accurate.
All right. Well, now that's over. All right, McKenna, go on.
Oh, I was just gonna say I played my first one in January and almost quit about 7 times throughout the game because it was so hard. And I hated it, cried a lot, but got 5th place. And I like once I hit merge, I was like, I gotta win this thing. And then the next one I played, I got 2nd place because people didn't think I was a threat because I can't win a challenge. But I guess those are the 2 biggest things going on. And for me, things I would like to plug. If you're in Michigan, you should check out Oceana Golf Club. I've got it tattooed on my body. That's how much I love it.
Wow. That's cool.
So I guess that's it.
Awesome. I keep telling the guys that Ian needs to create a Survivor for the Thoughts from the Bench guys, but I know that Derek's like really afraid of getting voted out like the first one.
He would. He would.
It would be honestly like I feel like Denny or Dre would get voted out first, but
yeah,
I don't know. Denny makes a compelling argument, but if someone throws a 5 his way, I feel like he'll gamble. Denny, if you're watching, don't do that. So we're thinking about doing that. All depends on, as she said, DCP is doing an all-star thing, which your boy may or may not be a part of yet. I don't know. Who knows? But as they said, you can go on to their Instagram and vote on like a bracket style of who you want to move on to the next round. Like she said, myself and David, I believe, are the ones that we made through the Sweet 16 through our respective mini. So be good that I'm going to.
And my game is coming up in a couple games, so you should vote for me to win over a fan favorite. I'm not seeded well. I'm not seeded well at all, and I seeded the thing. So
all right. Anything else on our end to add, guys? I think this was, I will say, I feel like I learned more on this show than I do on a lot of other shows that we do. And that's a good thing because it shows that where I might have a big head and I might know a lot of things, sometimes it helps to have a little bit of an expert, and that's why we have the guests. So
Yeah, one more thing.
Okay.
I see Greg's mustache. You can kind of see mine. Do you have one?
I don't.
It's there. Stop it. It's there.
But what are we growing them for?
I'll let you. You want to take it?
Greg, you want to take it?
All right. It is still Movember. The Movember campaign is still going on. We have already surpassed our goal from last year. Big shout out to Ping for being one of the key contributors for that. If you want to donate, go to the Movember.com/thoughts from the bench page. The links are on all of our social media platforms, whether it be Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. And we only have 8 more days left, and every single bit that is donated on all of our Twitch shows for the month are donated to the campaign.
Please do that, guys. We appreciate and try to help men's mental health every single day, not just in November, but November for the Movember campaign. Always brings us a sense of joy that we can make a difference out there. So go ahead and donate. As you said, all of ours are on all our platforms. We only have 8 days left. Let's get going with those. All right. And while now we close the show, I would like to thank everyone in the chat. You know who you are. Not named Foreigner. It's all right. We appreciate you.
Jeez.
Well, we love you. We love all of you. You're the reason that this show has continued to going for episode 105. It's episode 105 of our special guest, McKenna. Wonderful for you to join us, my friend. You were amazing and a boatload of knowledge when it comes to the rom-com generosity campaign. I love it.
Thanks for making my dream come true.
Yeah, I know, right? It's the part of the slab goes away.
Add it to your resume, Austin.
Yeah,
making dreams come true.
Put it in there, man. But yes, thank you, and thank you to everyone. We will see you next week. All right? No one's got anything. No surprise concerts.
Should be good next week. After that, it's gonna be.
It's dicey for you. That's fair.
All right. Well, we'll have to go through them from there, ladies and gentlemen. But again, thank you to everyone who watched. Thank you to McKenna. And we will see you next week, 6:30 on Tuesdays for Twitch. This has been the RankKing's Court. Greg, with the gavel, court is adjourned.
Court is adjourned.